There we are, and we're back. Okay, no one saw that. Welcome to the 76th episode of the You Had Me at Halo podcast, where I really should have checked the settings earlier. It's been a while since we've been on, and you know what? We were almost exactly on time this week. I think we went live 7:31, 7:32. So take that word. No, he still got the message off, or they still got the message off.
Yeah, I saw it too.
We're waiting on the tweet, all right?
One day.
Anyways, there's been a lot of Halo stuff.
We were waiting on me that time.
There's been a lot of Halo stuff over the last month since we've been here. But before we get that, let's introduce the Fire team. I'm kind of just continuing what Abe says, to be honest. But of course, we have my co-host, Nick. How's it going, man?
Hello, doing well. How about yourself?
I've been doing pretty decent. Anything cool happened lately before we dive into all things Halo?
Well, I started the process of finding a house, so we'll see how that goes.
Good stuff, man. That's exciting. Yeah, that's exciting. Okay, and we'll just dive right in. So it's been a while. So the first thing we wanted to talk about was let me pop the topic list. I know what it is. Was last or a little over 2 weeks ago, I went to HCS Arlington, which was the nice big giant event. Well, wasn't that big, hosted by Optic in Arlington, Texas, and it was a pretty good time. Actually, technically, this time I went there as a player. Oh yeah, I was with the big boys. But no, what happened was my brother, who plays at an amateur level, his coach couldn't make it last minute, so they asked me to sub in. It's kind of cool standing behind them coaching. For those who don't know, in HCS and competitive Halo, you have 5 people teams, in a sense, 4 people actually playing the game, 1 person behind them listen with their comms coaching, and all the coach really does is call out like the timers if they don't notice it, like, hey, you got camo up in 30 seconds, or hey, 3 of them are dead, if they don't call it, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty small, and this is my first time I did it, so I wasn't the best. That being said, it was still a really cool time. I'm going to play some of the highlights in a second from the event. Though these are not my recorded highlights. Did you watch any of it at all, Nick?
No, I'll be honest, I don't really watch competitive stuff. I've been to like HCS Worlds long time ago. But I don't know. They're kind of fun to watch, but I don't know. I watch it, and I think I've said this before. It's just like I'm always get mad because I'm like, why am I not that good?
I get what you mean. It's honestly, going live is super fun, and even just playing the game. It's why I've told Abe so many times, I'm like, listen, you deal with like the worst internet issues in the world. Go to a LAN, play on a LAN server, and just realize how smooth the game feels when it doesn't have any internet to deal with at all.
I'll say like with LAN servers, I kind of wish that that they have them all set up and things like that for like it works at HCS and things like that.
Yeah,
it's like let people do it. I don't know how easy it is and stuff now, but I feel like
so you still really can. But they made this weird decision where there's no local LAN in the sense with just Xboxes. You need a PC to run a local LAN server on your network. And it's really easy to do it. You just click like one button on Steam and it's done. And then once that's done, anyone can join it. Like the process is really easy, but you need that PC hosting it, which is that's just weird. I don't know why they have that. Yeah.
Well, that's how it happens internally and stuff. We have a PC that.
But Xbox should be able to host one too. Like.
Yeah, you would think so. Like the old.
Anyways, you've heard me talk about HCS a lot in the past. I'm not gonna go on and on and on. The cool thing this time, more so than the other ones, is that one of the coolest stuff about going to these events is seeing the stuff that you don't see on stream, which is stuff like the pool play matches between all the amateur teams. Like basically these like dozens of people, kids for the most part, who like are trying to make a name for themselves, right? They brought a team together, they paid some money, they went to it, and they got like a lot of dreams and hopes and ambitions, and then it's super cool seeing it. They're screaming at each other, yelling at each other. You've got like inside stories where one person's been claimed to be cheating like by tons of other people, and then that person beats another team that was like claiming that cheating, and they get up and they're like, who's the cheater now? And it's like screaming at them. It's really, really cool stuff. One thing that I thought that was really interesting was there's always an FFA tournament that happens, which is, of course, it's free for all, but in HCS it's always the exact same map, the exact same weapon loadout, where it says, hey, here's like 250 people competing, get in the map, 8 people playing, top 4 make it, go, and they keep going. I played FFA as well. I got it to round 2, and I did okay. Actually, if you ever sees this, Uber Nick was also in round 2, and I got more kills than he did. I'm just saying. I'm in my lobby, I got like 27, he got like 24, 25. It was a really good time. Over here on the screen is this is me recording the finals of FFA. It was live streamed too by LVT for the first time, which is really cool because this stuff should be actually streamed for other people. But it was kind of funny. He doesn't really do FFA much, so he's making some like really blatant errors. And like, hey, this person is doing well. I'm like, nah, dude, they're like 3rd or 4th. This is not the... So right now when you're watching, the competition between the person whose screen I'm recording and the person right across from him. It's literally like a 1 or 2 point kill difference at this point, going on and on and on, and it was incredibly intense. Like, you have to go, or if you go, you have to stay for this kind of stuff. This for example happened Saturday night, like 11 p.m. or like 10 p.m. Like, you either stay at the venue or you come back later, and everything's just like a ton of people crowded around it. Pro players too. So overall, it's really fun. I'm trying to see if without audio you don't get the full experience of the ending. But let me see. Last couple pivs. Match ends. And so this match ends, and both the players have the same number of kills. So then there's a moment where we're like, wait, what the heck's going on? The same number of kills. And then like there's a second of people not knowing what's happening. And then the people that look at deaths know right away it goes by least deaths, which is why there was like a 5-second, like a 2-second pause, and the other side just started screaming like super loud. And I was going for this guy, but I still wanted the other guy to win too. I know both of them, or I know of them. Either way, that's all I'll go on. It was really cool, really intense. Do you have anything you want to say about HCS before we move on?
I am from what I remember and stuff, which was like the first HCS in Seattle, way back when. All that was like, yeah, real intense and stuff, and it was kind of, it was a fun experience to be there and all that. So got to meet some of the achievement hunter guys back in the day there.
That's what I hope the Worlds is. It's, and there's something Tashi actually mentioned recently in his
little. No, that wasn't HCS. That was Houston. The outpost.
Yeah. Oh, the outpost. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But one thing Tashi mentioned is he wants Worlds to kind of be like that again, though. Like, not just competitive Halo. Just, hey, if you're a Halo fan in general, come here. We'll have a lot of cool stuff to do. Which is, I'm really hoping we can go. Maybe it's a site. That'd be really cool. But anyways, in terms of HCS, before I ended off, viewership was interesting. On the day itself, it was pretty good. Live, tons of people watching. Online, I think it only went up to like 65, 70K people watching at its peak, which is not that good. It's not that bad. It's kind of okay. To be fair, the most popular team got knocked out before the last day of the tournament, which affects that, of course. But I don't know. HCS and Halo Infinite both fall in the same category of like, how long will it go on, right? Like, how sustainable is it? Is it going well? Are they making enough money? Are they going to keep updating it? That kind of thing. And it's kind of like, it's up in the air. We'll see as time goes. That's enough about HCS. And now I'll take it to you, Nick, and myself as well, as we read through all the crazy MCC updates that have happened over the past week and a half or 2 weeks.
Let me get that one article open, because a lot dropped, especially if you earlier this week or late last week. Yeah, been late last week. Friday, I think it was.
I'll pop it up on the screen as well. I mean, it'll just be a full page web page, but either way, it'll for people can read along. But yeah, the dig site update, right?
Yes, this is like some awesome stuff. What? So for those that don't know what dig site is, I believe it's the it's a team at 343 that I think is composed of people outside the studio, like fans, like community members. I think because they used a lot of like gamer tag names.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Unless people have like some cool last names or something, which could be the case, but but either way, it's a team that is uncovering lost files and like buried files and stuff from the old games and bringing them into the forefront. So like they're finding like all the cut content, basically. They're unearthing or digging up all the cut content and kind of remastering it, or like fixing it and stuff so that way they can release it. And they actually did release, you can actually download a lot of the stuff now in their first big update.
On PC right now, right?
Yes. Yeah, I believe for PC. I think some of it, a few things are on Xbox and making their way onto the with an update for the Xbox versions, but I think majority of this stuff you can get on PC. And it's like they're working on cut levels, like some cut campaign content, cut vehicles, weapons, like a whole bunch. I like this article is it's jam packed full of stuff. It's we'd be here for a long time going through all this stuff.
What's playing on the screen, sorry, while you're talking, is the crash site, Halo dig site crash site demo, which I think is Halo. Oh, is this the Bungie demo? No.
It's the
Halo 1, something Halo 1 cut content, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, crash site is I think a map or something that they made to incorporate a lot of the new stuff that they found. So that way people can kind of get a better taste of everything kind of in one map.
That's cool. That makes sense.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
So like some new weapons and like, what the heck is this gun? Is that the assault rifle with a giant ammo sticking next to the left of it?
Yeah, looks like it.
This is from Opulent Halo. Sorry, really quick on YouTube. I just pulled their video. What is that aiming thing? Even the pistol symbol is different. This is something really cool that 343 or their dig site team is doing. I was kind of worried that when they changed their minds about selling tokens for MCC, that they'd stop any kind of updates like this to it too, because work like this costs money, assuming they're paying people to do it. But no, it seemed, what the hell is that gun?
Oh, that's the new pistol that they completely remastered. And it's basically a predecessor to the pistol in ODST.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that is a grenade launcher? That went seriously far. This looks fun. I think I might try this. It is only on PC for now. That is true, but I'm sure.
Yeah. Some of the stuff I think you can find on Xbox, like I said, but
yeah, for sure. But there's more than just this, right? There's also stuff like ODST multiplayer, which is
I saw some of that. There's ODST multiplayer. What else is there? In Halo 2, they have a brute grenade, which they didn't explain what it was, but it looks in the picture it looks a lot like the spike grenade.
Okay.
Some remodels of some brutes, the Phantom from the Halo 2 E3 demo or not demo, the showcase or whatever, where it has the landing gear and stuff.
Yeah.
Some new maps. They're trying to the maps aren't done yet.
Yeah,
they're still being worked on. And they're like some campaign experiences basically. They're working on the Halo 3 Guardian, which was cut.
I saw some of
that. And that I think they only had a model and some references to what it was supposed to do, and they're basically have to rebuild a lot of that.
To kind of like clarify, this content that's in the game, it's not just content that's just there and they just say, hey, here it is, access done. They're actually putting work and effort into kind of like making it for MCC in a way.
Yes, because with the framework that MCC is built on, you can't just port over Halo 1 files into MCC. In order for MCC to work, they kind of had to build a new framework and a tag system, basically a tag system and some other back-end frameworks to make sure that all the games work together on one platform. And that was kind of the big hurdle because no other game series has done that before.
Yeah, not at all. Like, what the heck is this?
So,
this is insane.
Yeah. That's why, like, MCC is like probably one of the greatest things in gaming.
No, it is. It is by far, I think, the best video game collection released. Like, there's not even a there's not even a debate there. Like,
yeah, no, especially with all this stuff they're doing for Dig Site. Like, holy crap! Like that. Going from what MCC was when it released to what it is now, oh my gosh, like,
it's night and day,
galaxies like beyond.
Yeah. For really quick, this gameplay is from Arash. He's also on Twitter. He's on YouTube. This is the ODST multiplayer that I'm showing right now. Yeah. This looks pretty fun, by the way. I actually would play this. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would too. Well, maybe for our
community nights, maybe.
Yeah, community nights, we can hop onto some MCC and see what's available. And
because they even did some stuff like you can change the main menu background, which sounds kind of small, but that's a big change.
Yeah, they but yeah, so for what they're doing to bringing this through, essentially they're going through a lot of the old source files to see if there's any like models or anything there that look like it could be like interesting or fun, and then they'll dig into that. So like sometimes they just have an old model to go off of. When they were doing some like data mining stuff, they I think they've we've seen the videos go around of hopping onto a hunter's back.
The bandana skull or
yeah, and when they were going through and updating or not updating, doing some stuff with vehicles, they were like looking for any other. There's essentially like a tag that is used for seats that like Spartans get into. I think they're like empty seats or something like that. I forget what the tag is, but basically it denotes like, hey, someone, your Spartan can hop in and ride this vehicle. Well, they found that in the hunter, and that was like a kind of surprise to them. So they dug into it, and that's when they found out, you were actually supposed to be able to hijack the hunter and put the grenade and stuff into it, which was supposed to be in Reach as well, but they removed that from Reach too. So that might make a return with this dig site stuff in Halo Reach.
That is hence the term dig site. I didn't realize how much digging, for lack of a better term, they were doing with this stuff.
Yeah, it is like wild, like reading through all this stuff. It's like pretty sweet. But
and just opening up for modders, huh? Like, hey, here it is. Have a good time.
Yep. And they're using a lot of the modding pipeline too, the tools that they built for that to bring some of the stuff.
Yeah, sorry, Mort. I realized I was going way too quick, so I reduced the speed in an effort to help out that. This video is specifically is from General Kid, so blame them for going through those way too quick. Oh man, okay, sorry. Let's see, going through the list, what else we got? Like a new types of scorpion, a new raid, a new grenade. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and not all of it's in the updated stuff that's released. A lot of it they went over, and some of the stuff we talked about is like things that they're still working on and like polishing up. But they have a lot of stuff that I think released for the first update and drop. They even talked about Halo Wars, but they were kind of like, I don't know. It's a love-hate relationship with 343 and Halo Wars. It's like it's I feel so bad because I love Halo Wars. I want them to make another one, and I love playing Halo Wars 2 and even the classic Halo Wars. They were great games. And
as someone who hasn't played either, I too want a third one. It's more varieties.
And they were like talking about it. I'm like, oh, are they going to bring in the Halo Wars to the MCC collection and give it updates?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But they're like, they was like, no, we don't have any plans to do it. But they're like, we're going to bring in content from Halo Wars into Halo 2 and stuff like that.
That's so weird. Because, what?
Yeah, they said it's actually easier to do that because some of the models that they have like down, the little RTS models, are high enough in quality that they can upscale them and port them over as actual.
I'm assuming they're made in different engines and everything, right? Like you can just port that over.
Yeah, well, there's some other trickery, like they might have to put it into, they upload the mesh into like Max or like 3ds Maya or something like that, or Blender. I think they're using Blender a lot. But as they can bring over some of those files and stuff, and actually give us some, I forget which one they're working on now. I could probably try to find it here.
I know they mentioned they brought some of the Halo Wars elites into the game.
Yeah, they're yeah, I can have to look at this, but Halo Wars elites, because they can bring stuff in from the blur engine, or the blur assets. They said that they're very well like put together and everything, that they can easily import the stuff. The only problem is their texturing. They said the texturing is like a whole nother language and foreign to them, so they have to figure out what they did for that in order to get that to work.
Man,
but
it makes you kind of wonder
blur assets in,
like, yeah, every game has cut content, but if Halo games were allowed more than just this insane time, 3 years, that's it, and we need it now, what they could have been. I mean, I know they're already great games, 1 to 3, Solid Reach, they're all good. I get that, right? But that insane time limitation, like, there's a lot left on the cutting board, which we see here. Speaking of, these are the Guardians, by the way. Yes, which we were talking about earlier. Yeah, they were not a 3-for-3 made thing. All right, Bungie had expressly mentioned Guardians earlier in their own thing. Designs are kind of interesting.
Yep. And because you can see it in Epitaph and stuff as a hologram, and then they reference it in found from the article that they reference it in or show one of those models in Halo Infinite somewhere in the campaign too, I think.
Okay, so I've heard mention of the Halo 3 campaign E3 demo. How's that playable? Is that just Chief walking up and like that's it?
I don't know. I did see mention of that in there. Maybe it's just on so that way I don't know, actually. Or maybe it's going to be a playable space. I mean, so in Halo 3, a lot of those cutscenes and stuff like that were actually like in-game engines. So like my guess is they would have that space as a thing where you can actually like walk up yourself maybe, and you see the phantoms and all that fly over.
The wording here is the scenario cannot be played from start to finish. That's interesting. That'd be pretty cool, not gonna lie.
yeah, a lot of awesome stuff. So it's definitely like because when they were going through some of the things, and like especially when they were talking about the hunters and you being able to ride them in Reach, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that, and it triggered a memory just like that of just like oh yeah, I remember going in, like playing with my friends, going into I think it was when the Oni site is being attacked, whatever mission that is, and or somewhere where there's like this downstairs area. They have to like go to the elevator to like go up into the building or whatever. But there's hunters there. And I was just like, oh, I remember seeing that you can hijack the hunters. So we had the catch skull on, because I think that's what you needed it for.
Yeah.
And I go up there and I'd like try like hitting them, and like I hold an X or whatever because I'm like, oh, maybe it's hidden. Nothing. And then the hunter just turns around and smacks me. And I'm just like, we're just like, what? Like, why can't you do this? And
man, a part of me really misses that kind of that like mythical element of like, hey, I heard you can do this. We gotta go try it out. Like we gotta see this. And these days, everything is data mined, especially as we're older, and not to believe random rumors like, hey, if you run around in this circle for 10 hours, Mew will show up. Things like that. but there's an element of it too that I miss. This is interesting. Going through cutscenes, Anyways, there's so much stuff you can talk about MCC. I feel like maybe we should like mess with it ourselves, play with it a little bit, and then get back and like just talk about our favorite stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I think that would be good. And like I said, maybe we'll try to do that at our next community night, which again is at 7:30. Every other or the Wednesdays that we aren't doing the podcast. So
we did have one extra person this time. That was nice. It wasn't just us two.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's just been us. We need to get better at like promoting it and stuff, and I think I'm gonna try to post around to some other communities and stuff like that. Yeah. But and I think we'll maybe try to stream it as well, so I think that might help us get some draw to it as well, and also we'll have content for for the podcast and stuff. But
which I did record some. I'll be playing some.
Yeah, that's true.
What was I gonna say? Speaking of doing things earlier, I totally forgot to ask for questions this week. So if anyone has any questions and they want to post them, feel free to post them on the website, the Discord, the chat. Honestly, we'll read most of some questions off the chat too.
Yeah, chat probably the easiest right now.
Yeah. Okay. We done with the MCC stuff for now?
Yeah, I think so. If not, we're gonna keep on going into it.
Stuff it means making me want to play it, right? Like I have a PC. I don't like my PC, as in like I don't like playing on it, but I have it. Maybe I should give it a shot. So next up on the thing is a kind of a surprise drop to Halo Infinite, which was the 8v8 squad battles playlist. This was something I don't think they had even mentioned before that they were working on, because I know we'd mentioned big team battle maps in matchmaking and Husky Raid coming up, but this wasn't. It kind of came out of nowhere. And I don't know about you, but playing 8v8 again felt kind of refreshing.
So I've always been a fan of squad battles. That's
like
always
old
my mode.
8v8, right?
Well, it used to be 6v6, but because of
I see what you mean. Okay.
Larger, they made it 8v8. But I've always liked it the slightly bigger. It's because like on 44 maps or whatever, it was a bit more chaotic, and then but also like on the big team maps, it wasn't as chaotic. So it was always kind of a fun mix. So I always really loved the squad battles maps, and I was mad that they never really had it in Halo 4 and 5. I don't think they had it in Reach.
I don't think so, because I mean I played Reach a fair bit, I played 4 a fair bit, played 5 a fair bit. For me, it was just 4v4, 8v8, right? That was it, really.
And which just because like as a forger, my maps were always scaled a little bit too big. So for years, I always joked, "Oh, they're great for squad battle," but squad battle wasn't really a thing. So it was like I would have these maps that would play squad battles very well, but I would have to go through and like resize them either to be a big team battle map or a 44 map and stuff. I'm just like, dang it! It's like I like that Goldilocks zone. So I'm happy to see that it's back.
For those wondering, there's 3 maps right now, all Halo 3 remakes. So Last Resort, Halo 3, you know what I mean. We've got Last Resort / Kootenai Beach / God damn it, what's the third name? The name I know
Zanzibar.
Zanzibar, of course. That's the original, I'm pretty sure. Halo 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then we have Rat's Nest, which is playing a little earlier. And then, of course, Valhalla, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But honestly, these remakes are great. Though, admittingly, my brother's like, he's like, hey, this is really cool. Why isn't it moving? He was kind of annoyed that it wasn't moving.
So, Quatsi, who is the one who made that map, who made Zanzibar remake, they tried a bunch of the scripters and stuff, tried getting it to move, and there was a bunch of prototypes, but it was just so janky and stuff, and that it just didn't work, unfortunately. Because
that's what I kind of assumed.
Yeah, like unfortunately they didn't add in the proper tools that Halo 5 had to make nice rotating joints and stuff like that into Halo Infinite. So they couldn't get it to work. They had some prototypes that were just like it kind of worked, but it's like it wouldn't be good for a
does Forge have like triggers right now? Like if a player does, obviously it does. Like for example, on the old maps you'd like press a switch and it would open like a door in this. That would still be workable, right? In Halo Forge?
Like that stuff's pretty simple. When you have objects that just need to go like up and down, but also like it's a bit difficult too because you can't script scaled objects, which is a pain because
interesting.
it's like if you had scaled objects, we'd be able to make some really awesome stuff that like people can script. You might be able to. No, I don't know.
They did make some
messed around
changes to
with
scaled
scripting.
objects. I know that, but
Yeah, like you can scale down the warthogs and stuff like that. So but I don't know if that's like hacky, whatever. But they but yeah, so they made it kind of difficult to do these like really cool, things that people want to do with scripting in motion, and it's just not there yet. And trying to get something to like multiple objects to like rotate around one another and stay all together, it would just be nearly impossible and
well, it makes
probably
sense.
never
I mean,
work.
it's not unlimited. It does look really good though. Like especially Rat's Nest, like they made it look like a Halo 3 map, which I really appreciate, and especially Valhalla. Let me see if I have some Valhalla gameplay really quick. Yep, here it is. Like we were playing Valhalla right together, and all we could say was, "Wow, the foliage looks so good."
Yeah, for some reason I don't remember. I just remember Small Hala.
Yeah, that's true. We played a lot of Small Hala. That's true. But even Valhalla, actually, not gonna lie, in my head, this is merging with Small Hala right now because it's such a good version of this map.
Oh no, yeah, that's right. No, we did, yeah, play this. I remember because it was maybe it was Flag.
Yeah. Oh no, Flag was also Small Hala with Husky Raid.
Yeah, so I think I was just thinking of Small Hala because I'm watching this now and I don't. What, did I play this?
So this wasn't the group playlist. This is when I first played it myself, and I first.
Okay.
The group one should be in here
you
somewhere.
Have me like thinking like, am I forgetting stuff already?
Small Hala is such a good map that like it legit is merging in my head with like this. Because it is so well, like almost not 1-to-1, but like 1-to-1 and like half. Whatever the hell the ratio is. We have a question in the chat by Gooey Cheese 42. And with $5 super chat, thank you very much, man. Awesome. You didn't have to. You could have written in. We'd have read it anyways. But we
appreciate the money. Yeah.
With enemy AI coming to Halo Infinite, do you think we'll be allowed to make our own campaign missions, or will we be stuck to firefight? I'll let you take this one, Nick.
Yes. So the idea, from what I understand, is and this is kind of going back to when I was on the team years ago, is that the idea would be to have people create their own mini like campaign missions, because there is a big want for that. Firefight is obviously a big want as well. So the idea with the campaign AI is I think you would just be able to place it down and probably place like volumes or areas where you can set like basic things like, oh, defend this area or move to this area, or I think because I helped with this actually like testing the engine, and one of the engine things is like there was things for I think defend, patrol, and I think just like free roam or something. So there's like a few different things that like are base functionalities that the AI can do, which pretty simplistic. Path or like patrol, basically you put down a couple points and then they just like walk straight to those points, and then they just go right from the next, and then either turn around or do a loop or whatever, and then defending obviously is they stay or they guard an area and may like wander throughout it. And then so the idea is to be able to make campaign missions and stuff. So
that'd be really cool. And hopefully, I mean, judging even just by what they've been done in the past, is when you get some really cool forge maps, they get them into a playlist somehow. So if they could get like PvE, just user made campaign or various scenarios into like a playlist, that'd be super cool. Like that's like free money, like that's something they should do regardless.
Yeah.
This is now Small Hollow. Sorry that I'm showing if you were confused because it looks so similar.
Yeah, Small Hollow, it's really awesome. Made by some, I forget who was made.
Oakham, I believe, was Small Hollow.
Oakham, yeah.
Yeah.
But Oakham worked with a lot of the people over at Halo Funtime, our friends over there. Which they did a fantastic job in it. It's so fun to play, like so hectic and stuff. It's like it's a really good Husky raid map for sure.
And for those who don't know what Husky raid was, because I've never played it before, which I guess I don't know. I don't play Forge maps in the past. Yeah, straight up. It's basically these small linear maps, CTF, with like insanely quick spawn times.
Yep. And random weapons and everything too.
And of course, and Fiesta, yeah. But basically though, in this one, you had to spawn camp to even move the flag. Otherwise, it's not happening.
Yeah. It got pretty intense.
We'll talk a little more about this and another Forge map later. But back to squad battles. Is there anything else you wanted to mention? What future maps would you like to see in this playlist? Because it's been a week and the playlist is still here, which hopefully means to me that the plans to keep it kind of, if not permanently, then for longer than the other ones.
I think they might end up rotating it out because I know that they kind of have to rotate playlists through in order to. Otherwise, if you have a bunch of playlists, then you're not going to find any matches. That's just how it is.
I mean, the community playlist isn't there anymore, right? Which is the one with like the 5 community maps. Now those maps are just kind of dispersed throughout the various other playlists.
I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention to when we were.
I don't think it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if either way.
I thought their idea was to keep it, but like rotate stuff out through like in it. But then
that's what they said. But then they kind of put all those maps in other playlists, and maybe they assumed, hey, listen, all these maps are in other playlists. Like we can.
Yeah, and it might be better to just put like, oh, here's Husky raid and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
but back to the maps. So Halo doesn't have to be Halo 3. Previous Halo BTB maps. Which ones would you like to see into this game?
I don't know. I've always been a huge fan of Avalanche, and we might see some stuff for that maybe.
Dude, we saw that Avalanche remake or whatever leaked like a year ago. Right? That was the map that we saw so early.
Yeah, I mean, that was being worked on when I was there by one of my friends. It was funny because I was working on a Avalanche remake, but on the desert biome.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was gonna call it Sandstorm, and I had it nearly done, but it was in such early versions of Forge that when it updated and stuff, that things kind of broke. And then eventually, once I got into the flighting program or the Forge runners and stuff, I talked to Michael Shore and my friend Randy about hey, can you? Because I had ownership transfer to some of those guys that I knew were going to stay at the studio, and when they tried loading it up and everything, they said it just wouldn't load up anymore. And I was like, damn. And at that point, it was like a year and a half past when I last touched it. So there were so many iterations, and some of those pieces were probably all broken away. And when I was building it, it was back when Forge was definitely really in a rough state because it was a lot early. So there was not the amount of stuff there is now, or as remotely stable as it is.
You go back to code you wrote 6 months ago, and you're like, I don't know any of this.
Yeah, and it was such a big undertaking to try to have to redo it. Now I'm just I don't have the time to do it as I did at the studio.
No, it makes sense. Though, you know what? I gotta say, in Valhalla, the water looks nice. Yeah, I know it's not interactable yet, but just looks wise, it looks nice. And it sounds nice. They got waterfall noises, and I like how it sounds. But other than Avalanche, BTB, 2 maps you could pick from previous Halo games.
Standoff. Standoff was always a fun map.
Wait. I need to remember this. Standoff Halo.
That was
2.
the one that was kind of like on a cliff. It had two round bases opposing each other.
This had a Halo 4 remake in this in snowy weather, or was that another game?
No,
might have been Halo Reach.
It did come back in one of the later games as a remake.
Might have been Halo 5 actually, even because I remember snowy levels and like bases inside of them.
I don't think it was snowy. I don't think it was, but I think they remade because I remember.
I might be thinking of another map. Yeah. But okay. Personally, for me, listen, Valhalla looks great, right? And everyone thinks of this map and they think of Halo 3 and they think, oh, Halo 3 was amazing. I love this game. I love BTB. The actual map doesn't play that well, in my opinion. This might be a hot take, but I think there's a reason why 343 have moved away from like these wide open maps for Big T Battle, because generally the middle of the map is just this no man's zone where you just get instantly killed by 4 people just watching out for you.
Sandbox has turned a lot more into long range stuff. So yeah.
And
that's why we don't see Blood Gulch anymore.
Exactly. Though, you know what? That being said, Blood Gulch was like big enough that you could like sneak your way through even the center. I prefer Blood Gulch over Valhalla, I'll be honest, personally. In fact, I kind of want to see Blood Gulch come back. Just straight up Blood Gulch.
I would like to see it come back too. The Halo 2 anniversary version of Blood Gulch that Certain Affinity made, I think it was Certain Affinity, for like the map pack or something, way back when.
Was that Blood Gulch or was that the Halo 2 version of the map? Which was relation.
You cut out.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my loose mic connection. I gotta do something about that. But was that not Coagulation for Halo 2 Anniversary?
It might have been. I just remember them like, it was kind of like a mashup of all the previous iterations of, Blood Gulch, Coagulation, Hemorrhage. It was kind of a
you know what? You're right.
Compilation of that. I think it was called Blood Clot or something. I don't know what it was. It was some blood theme. But it was like because it had like the Halo 2 bases, I believe, which were the
and it had that thing in the center, layer. Right?
Yeah, it had like a small structure in the center.
Bloodline, I think that's what it was called.
Yes. Like I would like to see that one come back because I think that plays better with the sandbox, and still pays homage to the roots. I would like to see that one.
You know what? You're right, actually, because when I used to play Halo CE or MCC a lot, I used to play it like almost friggin' every night for a little while. It was just Halo CE too, which is why I hate the game. But anyways, one thing we do and we just want to have fun is we play that map with 16 or 12 or 10 people, rocket race, where one person's driving the mongoose, the other person's a rocket in the back, right? And it was just chaotic and it was just so much fun. And and it worked so well with that map because those random gates. Oh god, I want that back.
That makes me think of Sand Trap. That's another map I would
like to see. Sand Trap.
I would love for them to bring Sand Trap back. I think someone made it in Forge already. Bring Sand Trap back, but also bring the elephants back.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could move them in Halo 2, right? Or no, I can't remember.
I think they updated it in MCC to where you can spawn them in or move them.
Either way, there's so much cool stuff, and this playlist has a lot of potential. Because one thing Halo Infinite has not been lacking is people like you, Nick, and other community members putting their heart and soul into making fantastic looking and playing maps. Like, and it makes sense that 343 is using that, right? To be honest, they're kind of using it for free, and they shouldn't be. Like, you should be guys who are getting paid for the amount of work you're putting into this in more ways than just a really cool skin.
I think, and hopefully it's safe to rock here, but I think they want to eventually kind of go that route, and I think a lot of the people or places that do UGC content, user generated content, is that they want to give back to people. It's just trying to find a model that works.
That makes sense.
Because obviously, like once you kind of start getting, there's people all around the world, and that starts getting pretty tricky when you start talking about money. So they have to be careful with that, kind of figure out a system that works, that's also can't really be abused. And it's like, so does that mean that only like certified or trusted people get it? Kind of like the creator funds and stuff like that you see.
It gets really messy really quick, right? So it's going to require a good amount of thought behind it.
And I know it's not high on that priority, but also 343 luckily reaches out a lot to the creators, and like while they do use and stuff, they interact a lot with them, which is nice. You know, they they still like talk to us even and stuff. So
that's super cool. It's something I feel like Xbox in general is better at than many of the other publishers or funders. And even in terms of just sustainability, you don't need a team making a giant map or blocking it out or doing QA for months, right? When if you have a community willing to willing to anything in like 20 hours. So I'm getting willing to make the maps and do that part of the work, right? It makes sense. Okay, moving on from squad battle. And next up on the list was we had another Spartan chatter, which I missed live this time, which sucks because I really did want to ask him a few questions if you'd see them, with Tashi, head of Halo Infinite Competitive. And he talked about a few things. I didn't make notes this time. I really should have. But generally, one of their goals with Halo Ranked, by the way, Ranked is also the most played playlist in Halo Infinite, which makes sense. Because it's the people that stick with the game the longest, grinding the ranks, grinding career rank. Okay. Speaking of career rank, it's just a bar. It's just a bar in another friggin' image, right? Like it's not special. You don't even get like a nameplate, but there are some people going crazy.
you get all the nameplates and you get the emblems to put on your vehicles and stuff. I'm like,
and that's it.
And I'm like, why the fuck do I want a bronze corporal figure or whatever to put on my Jeep? like what the heck? I mean, it's cool, I guess, for some of those people that like want it, but I mean, I don't know.
The 10-year-olds playing the game, man. They wanna rep. They wanna rep their career.
It'll probably be. You know what? It's for all the clan kids.
You're right. Oh my god, you're right. It is. Holy crap!
And I can say that I used to be a clan kid.
So. I was not. My brother got into. For those who don't know, Halo in general has had my favorite of RP elements, roleplay elements throughout its history, and one of the main ones was clans, where you join and like they go through military ranks, and like you're treated like a marine, and have like drill sergeants, and it's
you have to like stay in uniform. You have to like show up to meetings and stuff like that. Oh yeah, nowadays they're not like they used to be in the old days. Nowadays they have all these like weird clan battles or whatever, and it's just like.
But I laugh, but it's really cool. Like the power, the RP is super fun to do. I never really got into it enough, even in like WoW, but like it's just making your own fun in something, right?
Yeah.
But 100%.
Some of these people get so into it, like they'll have maps, like they'll make their clan battle maps or what their HQs and stuff. And they won't let anyone else like enter Forge and stuff on it. What? It's so secret because they're afraid that people will steal their secrets and things like that. Like it's unfortunately like in the Forge community, there's this big stigma for people that make clan maps. Well, stealing too. Unfortunately, that happens. But people making clan maps and wanting to help, but also not wanting to share their maps or whatever, and just like, well, how can we help you? And stuff. And it's like we don't care about your clan map.
Seriously, right?
So
I think sometimes we
forget. I offended any clan people here, but like
every single game has kids playing it too. Like I know people, especially our age, we think that like kids don't play Halo anymore. They still do. If they didn't, it wouldn't be as much as low as it is. It wouldn't be as where it is right now, and the people played. Speaking of, so back to the Tashi. So one thing he mentioned was that their goal is to every month, this is specifically for ranked, the ranked playlist, have a map either return or a new map or something like that to kind of keep the ranked playlist fresh. Because I know one of the main complaints with Season 4's release was, hey, Forest is flipping amazing. Scar looks really cool. Where's the rank map? right? Like I've only played ranked, I got literally nothing except for like the quantum or some sandbox changes. Speaking of, they did add solitude in, which has mixed response. I guess I could say. Have you played the map at all? The Plaza remake?
No, I have not ended up on that one yet. Because I think when we were playing the other day, it didn't pop up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you only really hit it maybe in like quick play or something, because it's mostly more of a rank thing. It's really great. It's like they took all the feedback from Empyrean, the pit, which is like super neon and bright, and we're like, okay, we got to go the exact opposite direction, gray and colorless. And initially, I thought it looked kind of bad, but when you actually play it, the way they did the lighting looks really good. Like, especially as a Forge map, like this is another map that releases and you're like, yeah, this doesn't look like a Forge map, you know? Though what's interesting is in some of the concept art someone showed was when the original idea was to have like graffiti and stuff all over the place. I'm curious if they could update it later with something like that, because that'd be cool.
They probably could.
But then again, the map is a ranked match, which means it needs the number one priority is readability and stuff like that, you know? So,
yeah. Which, if you have a bunch of colors on a wall that vaguely look like a Spartan, you know?
Yeah. Though, then again, Streets has a bunch of crap, and people are fine with that. Actually, it was funny. I was watching a call-out video, and it's like, yeah, so this place here is flowers. And you look at the video, and it's just like a gray slab. It's like, there used to be flowers here in Halo 5's Plaza. Man, I have not played Halo enough since Season 4. There's so many things coming, and when I do, I'm playing Squad Battle, other things. This is Scar that's currently being played on the video, which is the Big Team Battle map. I played it once earlier, and I thought it was kind of okay. Then I played it again, and it is a phenomenal infantry map. And by that, I mean, like, yeah, for vehicles, it's probably pretty trash, but it's just like ground-to-ground combat. It's really well made, I want to say.
Yeah, I'll have to... Yeah, I need to get back on the playing some of these and stuff. It's just like I get so busy, and then when I have free time, I just want to, stay home and not do anything besides just like watch some shows and just veg out of my chair.
Straight up, literally. Or if I'm on Halo, like Big Team Battle, especially alone, is something I don't really play. So I usually do quick play or Fiesta, because Super Fiesta is still so much goddamn fun. I love that game mode. Holy crap! But and then the other issue is I want to play, let's say, Scar, right? And it's like, hey, I'll play BTB and I'll load into goddamn high power or something I've been playing for almost 2 years, Big Team Battle needs another game mode, not just maps, because I don't think we've had a new game mode since literally the very beginning with Big Team Battle here.
No, and I believe that there's some game modes coming down the pipeline and stuff too.
I know there were rumors with Invasion possibly, because I know that's a Big Team Battle game type. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know what extent. I know there's, I think, some modes that are being made in Forge that might get have more of official capacity.
That'd be cool.
Like Husky Raid, we know that's coming. So
wait, so Husky Raid, it's still 4v4, right? Or is it supposed to be? Okay.
Yeah, it's 4v4.
Because if it was 8v8 or 12v12, that'd be
that'd be insane. I've played Husky Raid maps where we've had that many people on that. It's fucking insane. One, you never get the flag.
Yeah, so it says 0-0 for 15 minutes.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So there's a question in chat of where's everyone? In life, I'm wandering. And physically though, I'm in Ohio, the meme state of Ohio.
Barely.
That's true, barely. But
I am in Canada, I guess, if that's barely, though. That's also
yeah. We live a lot on the borders.
For anyone interested in ranked, definitely go check out Tashi's thing. He talked about some of the struggles they have. He talked about some of the major issues, like rejoin matches after being disconnected, which is obviously, if you ever played any game competitively, you know that pain of a disconnect, and you're like, no, right? Or even your teammates disconnecting. Another major issue right now in ranked is 4 stacks. A lot of times you'll play, especially if you're playing seriously in higher elos, you'll be queuing yourself and you're up against like a full 4 stack, and there's not too much you can do there, I don't know how they'll address it, but hey, these are all issues that they. In fact, what's funny is during the Spartan chatter, Tashi went and pulled up his list of like issues that they're planning on work on based on the priority, and he just kind of read through it, and that was kind of fun to see just how informal a lot of it is, which I really like. Okay, all right. Next thing to talk about as we keep moving on is player numbers. The number of people currently playing the game, which of course we still don't have any official communication of, but we do have Halo API on Twitter, which I think they've been doing this for a while, but it only just got traction, where they take somehow, I don't know their methodology. I know I looked it up before, I don't remember it. They take kind of a snapshot, number of people playing across Xbox and PC. So it's not just Steam numbers, as well as number of unique users that have logged in or that have played since a certain date. Have you seen these numbers at all, Nick?
Yeah, I've seen some of it on Twitter and stuff. The 25K and stuff like that. I'll see if the image is up. But yeah, I've seen that the numbers have seemed to be doing good, which is great. Like I think I was talking with someone earlier actually that one of the issues for some of our lobbies that because like we're trying to do lobbies, and unfortunately it's just harder to get people for them, mainly in the Forge community and stuff like that, because not a lot of people are playing as much anymore, because the population is lower. So it's good to see that the population is growing, and I hope that it continues to grow, because if we compare this of course to Halo 5 numbers at this time, in the cycle, I don't know the stats for sure, but it definitely seemed like Halo 5 was played a lot more for a lot longer. So
no, for sure. Someone in one of the replies to tweet mentioned that these are like Halo 4 numbers right now. So we keep talking numbers. So going off the tweet, sorry, really quick, that I posted, and this tweet came out just a few days ago. Checking, I think July 16th, something like that. They have 25,000 people playing, which is not bad. That's concurrent. That's a lot more than the 6 or 4K that are playing on Steam.
Yeah.
A breakdown of what they're in. Very few are playing campaign, obviously. Highest population is ranked arena. Social skirmish is interesting. I'm guessing that and Fiesta kind of juggle the casual mode, or sorry, the more social mode. And this is interesting, as this is based off of a pool of 300,000 plus unique players that have logged in since June 20th. According to Halo API, it's not going to be any less than this, but it has a chance of being more, though not by much. Again, I don't know the exact methodology, but these numbers they're decent. They're not the best, but they're not like dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially after Halo Infinite didn't make the jump I thought it was going to in the Xbox most played list after Season 4's release. Usually it jumps up to the teens. This time it didn't. It moved up from like 25, 26 back to like 21, 22. So I don't know. The state of the game is kind of hard to say,
Yeah, I definitely think it's getting better for
this
sure.
week especially.
Yeah, and with all the leaks and everything like that supposedly are going to happen, I think that this is all moving in a pretty good direction. I think if you go back to how we were talking about the state of the game, I think before E3 or E3 before the showcase, and even like a couple weeks before that, I think we're talking about the state of the game and kind of where it's at. I think it's a lot better now. It's with hearing all the stuff that they're planning on doing and just seeing the direction that a lot of things are going. I'm pretty excited.
I mean, actually, that's a great tangent to the next topic, which is some of the Halo, Season 5 leaks. Almost all these come from a Reddit user named Suraja or Sura, and something they had actually mentioned. Again,
like I'm professional.
All of this with with a grain of salt, is they mentioned the word that Halo Infinite is having a shift in direction, or a direction shift per se,
which I can see. I mean, not long ago we had all the massive layoffs. You had Bonnie leave. You had a Joe leave. You know, a lot of the major shifts in leadership. You know, Pierre joining on. It's the direction that it's going in now. You can definitely tell that there was a shift internally.
Yeah, 100%, for sure.
And with the dig site stuff, kind of going back to that real quick, with that being MCC and the direction that they're pushing that in, with Pierre once being MCC and stuff like that, I'm wondering if we'll eventually start seeing some more of that cut content that from Halo 5. That would probably be far down the way, but you know,
I'm not gonna lie, Halo 5 PC port would be really, really cool. Like,
or not Halo Infinite.
Okay, I was gonna say
also
you didn't say Halo 5.
Sorry, Halo Infinite. And it would be cool if they would eventually, get Halo 5 into MCC. I think a lot of people want that. But the Halo Infinite stuff, if they bring in a lot of the cut content from that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. And hey, maybe they could bring back your Avalanche Sandstorm.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they maybe can recover those files for me.
But speaking also technically, so Surasia mentioned in reply, good shift. Again, whatever the heck that means, but anyone with eyes has noticed that there's been not a priority shift per se, but there's been clearly major changes at 343. That being said, the last few months this year has been the most consistent Halo Infinite has ever been, which is very interesting considering it's smaller number of people making the game. At least that's what people say, right? But anyways, speaking of the season 5 leaks, so one thing right away is Firefight / Campaign AI is looking more and more likely to actually coming in season 5. And to refresh everyone's memory, season 5 is, I think, October 17th. I reported on this. I can get the exact date because we know when season 4 is ending. But October 18th is the next multiplayer update. And I googled it, and my own thing came up. But what's I gonna say? So my leaks in Campaign AI, I mean stuff like settings popping up in the API, stuff like the number of enemies. In fact, they even mentioned, at least according to settings, that Halo Infinite boss encounters might be applicable in Campaign AI. That'd be really interesting, especially if you can ramp their difficulty up.
Yeah.
Again, these are all leaks, right? So I can go through the list, but we also don't really need to if you guys want to keep it surprises, like new vehicles, new weapons, usually not both together, that kind of thing. But if Firefight was coming out, because you can't have an entire season based off just Campaign AI and Forge, right? Because that's user-generated content. You can't be like, hey, the whole season's based off of stuff people are going to make now, and you'll be able to play in a month. So it makes sense to me to bundle Campaign AI and Forge with Firefight, right? Those two things kind of go hand in hand in my head. What do you say, Nick?
So I was kind of like reading chat too, because there was a
there's a question. We're definitely gonna get to that.
Yeah. So what was your question?
So sorry. So what I was gonna say is, every season has like a mode, right? Infection or land grab or last person standing. It makes sense to me that the season that has Campaign AI and Forge would be the season that has Firefight as the main mode.
Yes. Yeah. I think so. That would make the most sense. I think that would help draw a lot of people in and stuff too. So
and hopefully keep people in long enough for then user-generated campaign content. Be like, hey, while you're still playing, here, check this super cool map that came out, right? Or scenario, whatever the heck it is. And we do have a question in chat by our good friend Anorexic. Do you folks think that the shift in direction for Infinite could mean a focus on PvE? With Firefight and enemy AI and Forge, and gamers generally looking for good PvE content, it seems reasonable.
I don't know if it'll be
a shift.
I don't know if it'll be a complete focus. I think it might be a beat that they want to hit. But I don't think it'll be a complete shift. But a lot of their focus is on HCS and that the competitive side. So,
but it's kind of like how Forge is ever evolving in the sense that there'll be new biomes and new updates, that kind of stuff. it would be interesting if along with that, they'd also be like, hey, in this season, we added 6 new AI, right? That might not even be in the Halo Infinite campaign. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
If they did that.
Yeah, because I know there's
cut stuff,
there's
right?
Yeah, there's cut stuff, but like a lot of it wasn't. Actually, I think I don't think there was a lot of it didn't get made into like models.
Yeah.
It was just all kind of like, hey, we have this idea for an enemy. Like, do we want to pursue it? And then like that got cut.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's so we might see some more eventually, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think Anorexic, in terms of like a shift, I don't see them like really moving away from the competitive or arena side of the game anytime soon. Not as like a core for them. That being said, if HCS doesn't do a year 3 or a year 4, then yeah, I could definitely see that, especially if like they find that more people are playing the PvE content, right?
They're trying to they always knew that Forge and community made content was going to be
like the backbone or strong pillar. Yeah.
For especially for longevity and sustainability and stuff. So I think they might try to put more of a shift into that. And I know some of the people in that on that team or on those teams like work on that stuff who are, making some really good strides and or the reason why we're getting a lot of this cool stuff. So I think that there might be from what I know right now, they aren't really focusing too much or doing a shift in that direction. It's kind of almost like an uphill battle, maybe. But also too, at the same time, the studio is still going through a big shift right now. So like they're still trying to, I think that just now they're settling into the new track. And so while I don't think it's going to be a complete shift to PvE, I think it might be a shift more to community made content. And
which I guess would encompass.
Which would encompass PvE.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what's nice is they are still hiring again, which is nice. They are ramping up. And this is publicly hiring, I should say. I imagine there's obviously hiring, like targeted hiring happening too.
I told my friend, I'm like, hey, if they're hiring for like someone to help you out with, like, let me know.
That's straight up.
Unfortunately, I don't think I would be able to do the podcast anymore. But...
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'd have you on as a guest instead, man. I'm sure I can find another co-host who will leave me again in a few months. We have another question from Bad Out of Hades. Do you guys ever feel an urge to get sweaty and play ranked for a prolonged period of time? And if so, do you recommend a particular type of caffeine? Asking for a friend. So one thing I'll say about it, Hades, is I can't play more than like 3 or 4 ranked games in a row because my hands will literally be shaking. Like they're just way too intense. And this goddamn game, even social, even goddamn Super Fiesta is somehow within 5 to 50, like 5-point games every single time. Dude, I was playing like Super Fiesta, Big Team Battle, and somehow we either lose or win 197 or 196. Like, how does it get that close? What is going on? It's still fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm playing a social game type, even if it is intense, I'm not playing it intense. But ranked is tough, man. It's super fun, but people are just so good at this game. As for a particular type of caffeine, sorry, Nick. Yeah.
Oh, I was to say, like, answer if you have a caffeine. What's your choice of caffeine?
So this is, I'm gonna sound like a chump for saying this, but this is not with playing. So when I play a video game, generally I just get some tea from like Tim Hortons or McDonald's, and I drink that, or if it's late at night, I get some hot chocolate. That's like my kind of relaxing thing to drink. But Halo-related caffeine-wise, I don't drink energy drinks unless I'm driving, and even then, that's been kind of a recent development in the last 3-4 years. Where I'm driving at 10 p.m. Rather than saying I can't do it, I'll grab a couple energy drinks and usually only use one for the drive. That friggin' Halo Rockstar promotion, I only get Rockstars now. Like it worked. I don't know why, but it worked.
Well, that's how they hooked me on Monster. So I'll answer this backwards. Monster would be my drink. I like the monster like Java ones, like the coffee ones. I know some people don't like those, but
double caffeine.
I enjoy them. And then or just like some of the other monsters. I used to not drink energy drinks, and I don't really drink much anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I still think they taste awful, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, when Starfield comes out, though, I'm probably gonna get some energy drinks because I'm gonna be grinding that day and night. For whenever I play competitive, I always have the urge to try to play sweaty. I try to consider myself a casual player because that's kind of where my skill set is nowadays. But I do get sweaty. I get into like, the gamer pose where I'm like,
dude, I even in social matches, like I'm losing, like, oh, we're losing. Let's bend down and let's.
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
Yeah. And like and I used to always, I love playing SWAT. Like that used to be my competitive mode. Was SWAT.
So speaking of, they are adding SWAT ranked again. Tashi mentioned that.
Oh, okay. That'd be. I mean, I might. That's when I'll probably play. I'll have to get back into it. I used to be fucking good at SWAT, and then I kind of lost it a little bit. It's like kind of when you don't play games every day, you kind of start to lose the edge.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so that would be my thing. Is I'll play it for a while. I'll play it. I won't play it for a super long time because I will get frustrated if I'm on a losing streak or I keep on like it happens on Apex with some of my friends. Is like we unfortunately my one friend is pretty good at the game, so he brings the whole skill level up, and then we get paired with freaking predators or what Apex predators or whatever it is, and we just get annihilated, and then it becomes less fun. So
that was me in League of Legends. It's just, I mean, ranked is I just stopped having fun, man. Like it was too serious.
Yeah, that's why I usually always ended up defaulting back to the action sack or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I can just have fun in those.
Yeah,
and I don't have to have my heart pounding.
Speaking of, I really hope we get action sack soon. They kind of hinted on it with like Forge based game modes. So it'd be pretty cool if that's coming soonish.
They need more modes. I believe is what it is. It's like they're waiting for the community to
make. That's what I kind of
modes and also like internally and stuff like that. Just making.
Yeah. I mean, right now the current social skirmish is a lot of fun. Ninja Slayer is legitimately a lot of goddamn fun, but action sack.
Yeah. So a lot of that will be with the community. So if you're listening and you have some modes, get out there and market it.
Yeah. One thing they mentioned is like Tashi mentioned, like they're always on the lookout for more like ranked focused maps. Like he's talking ranked because he's ranked lead, of course. And he's like, one thing people do is like as long as you like mark your map as competitive or whatever the hell the tag is, like they'll go through it. They'll be like, hey, how's this map? Check it out. And if they think it's cool, they'll reach out. That's how Starboard got put into the ranked playlist, right?
Yep. Yeah, they do look through a lot of those tags and stuff, and that's why for a contest like like say if someone was running a infection contest, check our article and pinned tweet on XboxEra, they'll go through and see a lot of those maps that are made, and oftentimes they will put them into matchmaking. That is like one of the reasons why communities like XboxEra and Forge Hub and stuff run these contests, so that way we can generate content for 343, and then 343 picks from there, and some people get maps made
and then everyone playing the game benefits literally. Okay, moving on. That is actually all the news I think over the last 4 weeks, Halo related, other than IGN taking shots at the game again.
Was it IGN or was it Kotaku?
I mean, Kotaku always takes shots, but IGN was like,
oh, that's true.
What was their line? It's like Halo Infinite or Halo was like absent from all these talks, and which it wasn't, by the way. They actually mentioned it a fair few times because I listened to the court stuff.
I know Kotaku was, gosh, I'll go on record here now. So I hate Kotaku.
Oh, 100%.
They're a bunch of whacks.
Straight up. I don't go past the thumbnail. In fact, I don't get past the headline, and I don't even friggin' see the headline because people have to message it to me because I don't give a crap.
Yeah, I usually see the screen caps and stuff of the freaking insane stuff they say. I'm sorry, they have like no integrity left. I used to read their articles and stuff, but it's like, what's the point now? There's a whole bunch of fanboys and of a particular other console, and then it's just these weird clickbait titles that really have nothing to do with each other. Like they were talking about the recent one I saw going around was the Call of Duty. It's like more people are playing old Call of Duty games than Halo Infinite. I'm just like, why does that have why? Why are you taking those random shots? It's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure those Call of Duty games are getting played a lot more than just about any other
straight up, right? Like that's the
games.
No, it's Halo's catching strays, man. It's kind of funny seeing it happen. Okay, at this point I want to see the exact IGN tweet, dang it, because I am now committed into finding it. But they tweet so often, this is gonna take a million years. Holy crap, they tweet like 3 times an hour. No, that's not happening. Okay.
Yeah, they tweet a lot. Why can't some of these places are just like send out tweets, constantly just to see what sticks. Yeah, and it's like sometimes it just gets too much. And I get it, like if some of these news places, they just need to generate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, that aspect is understandable. That being said, just because it's understandable doesn't mean you can't critique it or point it out where it's like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah. Because then if you're like, oh, I did like that one thing, and then you try to find it, it's like, well,
it's done.
Right now.
It's done.
I can't find it.
Good friggin' luck. Okay. So that is all the Halo. Anyways, okay, that's all the Halo related news. What else?
So,
are we good?
Forge segment.
Yeah. So now we're moving on to something that should hopefully be a more regular thing in the podcast, which is we talk about our latest Forge era map feature. And I guess a sneak peek to the next one for this case.
In the last couple because we missed the one.
Yeah. Week. Oh, that's true actually. So you want to start with stage fright?
Yeah, we'll start with stage fright.
I mean, hey, it's infection themed.
Yeah. So once again, go back to infection. So stage fright, we decided to feature. I think it was the week after or the week that we announced the or that infection came out, and also our infection contest, which will end. I have to check the dates just to make sure I get it right. September 20th of this year. At 11:59 Eastern time.
Ooh, dang.
But so that if you have an infection map, get it. We'll try to get some lobbies up and going, but it'll be your way to win some awesome prizes. We're in talks with some other people to try to get some other cool prizes. Can't really speak too much on that yet because it's still in the works, but hopefully the prize pool can be. We're hoping to expand it, But yeah, Stage Fright though is a map that was a remake of Studio
66 or something like that.
No, 15 or
yeah, you're right.
I think something like that. But it was a Halo 5 infection map that was pretty popular. And they so they remade it in Halo Infinite, gave it a nice little update. It looks really cool and stuff. I haven't had
Studio 17
plan it yet. Studio 17. I knew it was something. 75, 15. We're dancing around the numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go check it out. That was one of our earlier features. Our goal is to feature a map every Friday, which is what we're calling Feature Friday. And so we'll have a new map featured. So make sure you submit them on to our website. This is forge.xboxera.com. Go ahead, submit your maps there because we can only feature maps that are submitted on our website.
Yeah.
So if you don't have it there, then it's not going to get featured. And we're trying to take from the more recent ones. so that way stuff kind of keeps a bit more recent and relevant. So yeah, submit your maps there. We'll also do a video feature like this that we plan to release on Tuesdays. Yeah. So there's a couple today, but
it's cool. We'll be back on track starting this week.
Yeah.
But the one for this week is a map called Keepsake, which we played a little bit in by Wolfrain, sorry, which we played a little bit in the community night last week. It's pretty fun. It definitely looks really cool.
Yeah. This map was a dedication to the memory of his sister. His sister passed, I forget how long ago, but I think it was fairly I think it was within the last year or something.
Oh, damn. That's crazy.
So I think pretty recent. I think, I'm not too sure. But he made a map for the 2v2 Forge Hub contest late last year, or early this year, whatever. So so he made a map for that, but it didn't, it didn't win and stuff. So he wanted to make one though that was kind of focused more just solely on her memory and like all the things that she was about, and like her personality and stuff, all the things that she loved. As you see, the carving and stuff of her there for a bit. So yeah, a lot of this was just as a remembrance and stuff for her. So
that's really cool.
You know what, this is kind of cool. We'll feature it. I came across the map and I was just like, you know what, this would be a cool map to feature. It looks nice. It kind of has a good message behind it. So
and it looks kind of unique, right? Like you don't see many Halo maps that kind of have like this medieval theme, other than of course like John's Kingdom. It's similar looking in terms of this, but it's not normal.
Yeah, and I think this is typically with 4v4. We were playing.
I think we were playing free for all with like 6 people. I think. Yeah.
So
I realized after that it's more of a like a competitive-ish map. I did not realize.
So it was a bit harder to find people. So we didn't really play the right modes on it, but it was still fun to kind of just walk around or run around with it and stuff. So
new maps are always fun, man. It just feels nice,
It's so fun. So like there's definitely a lot of fun that can be had on this map. So we recommend you go and give it a download and play as well. That you can find as under on the homepage for our website. That is one of our newly featured ones. And then I think we also had New Mombasa, which we don't have any footage for. We just kind of featured one because we missed a week because it was a hectic week. So we featured another map called New Mombasa. It's a big team battle map. Haven't been able to play on it yet either because but it looks cool. It's by Unique, so they usually make some pretty good maps. So I recommend giving that one a look at as well.
Yeah, it's just really cool. New Mombasa, that's the ODST. That's cool. It's got like the wet effect too in the ground. Yeah, we should definitely play this.
Yeah, well, we'll put into some of our rotation of stuff to play. Bless you.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought I could hold it. I could not. Luckily, I muted myself in time.
I had to do this figure earlier.
What I was going to say. And then I guess we have another one that we missed. I missed to do it last week because I totally forgot. Is we talked about it earlier today. But Small Hollow, which this map, you guys, if anyone's interested in kind of like chaotic Forge maps, that you need to play this map. It's just it's a better Valhalla, like straight up. It's like Valhalla, and then they just shrunk it down to like, do you know what the scale is? Like 1 to 0.25.
It almost feels like it's half.
Right? It feels half.
Yeah, it's it's just like a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a small Valhalla version. They did a really good job at like making it feel like they just took the original Valhalla map and just shrunk it down. They Oakham and our friends
Halo Fun Time
a Halo Fun Time did an awesome job with it. We had a lot of fun when we played it. It was chaotic fun. It's like, especially with all the abilities and stuff with the with Husky Raid and all that, you get some pretty like wild moments. Like, especially when you have the grapple hook, you can make it across the map in like 2 swings.
This that airplane, like the paper airplane, I'm guessing that's like a tiny model they put for like Death, and then they just scaled it the hell up to get it to look like that.
Unless they made the paper airplane,
that'd be super cool too.
Making the paper airplane, I don't think would be that hard to, whatchamacallit, remake.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's obviously meant to be kind of a funny joke that it's like, oh, it's paper airplane. The map's that small.
Videos don't do enough justice. You got to play the game to really just kind of realize just like how tiny it is, and also how fast you move in Halo. Like, there's this one moment where I grabbed the flag and I made it to the middle by using the thruster, which actually does something in this version of the game. And then I made it to my own. Actually, this might this might be the one. No, actually, I think I can't be. Where I make it to my own, I jump and because it's so tiny, I take the thruster back from my own base. No, this is a map you have to play. In fact, we need to just kind of play more Forge maps in general.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many games coming out and so many other things to do. It's tough, man. It's not an easy ask for Halo right now because the sheer number of 2023 has been a deluge of content. It's been crazy. But okay, we could talk about this forever. What's left? Is there anything else in the news or that we need to cover?
I'd say just kind of another touch on for the community nights and stuff. Is like, we want to play more of your guys' maps, more of the modes, or ones that you guys find. Like, if you find some and want to play with some other people, like, please, show up every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. So it would be next Wednesday at 7:30. We're trying to keep it consistent with the same time as the podcast, so that way, like, you kind of know when the schedule will be, and then we'll talk about the stuff that from the last community night in the next podcast. So, we'd love to. So we would love to get awesome moments or clips and stuff, and kind of put together a son of just like, hey, here's like stuff from our last community night, which is kind of like what we saw here with these features and stuff. So
I was gonna say, and if the timing, if that's not a good time, let us know and we can try and see if we can do something else on the weekend maybe or throughout. Like, we just want to. It doesn't need to be streamed. It doesn't need to be on the channel. We just want to play Halo with the community. Okay, let me double check the topic list, but I think that's about it. Anything else you wanna ask or you wanna talk about, Nick, before we either close off?
I'll say at the beginning before we started, I was like, this could easily be a 2-hour podcast, but we're
I'm telling you, when it's just news and not like debatable topics, and especially when it's just two people, we go through them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That being said,
stay on topic a lot more.
Yeah. That being said, for those listening, our goal is still to get more people on. To have 3 or 4 people, ideally. Well, three's perfect. More often, it's just, man, this life gets hectic.
Yeah.
You guys have any suggestions on guests you wanna see on the show? Let us know. I would definitely
or go on Twitter and tag them and
us. Yes, that'd be even better.
Tag the either one of our handles here or the XboxEra handle as well. You probably tag the podcast one, but I don't know how often we check that one.
Yeah, that's I mean, I think I still get notifications on it, so I would still probably see it. But yeah, just in general, tag XboxEra, we'll see it.
Yeah, that's true. So
sorry,
I'm cutting you off like crazy tonight.
No worries.
I'll say if there's any other questions and stuff that people.
Yeah, that's what I was checking the forum. I don't think there's anything. Because I didn't post. That's on me. I forgot. But yeah, so we'll be back in 2 weeks' time to talk all things Halo. And hey, if there hasn't been too much new shows, maybe we'll take a step back to the past, or who knows what we'll do.
Yeah, we have some filler episode ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, I'd love to continue our reaction episode of the
I would
E3
too.
stuff.
Well, maybe we can try to do that. The Halo 3 anniversary and stuff will be coming up in September, I believe. So maybe
that's the 15th anniversary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. So
Holy
maybe
crap.
we can do a reaction for that, and because did we cover Halo 3 when we did the
we didn't?
No, we
I
did.
don't. Did we get to Halo 3?
I think we did. I think we did the original 3, and then we're like, we'll do the next, Reach and the other games and stuff another day. So maybe we'll do it for Reach or Halo 3 ODST's anniversary.
yeah. We'll definitely do something.
We'll think of something.
Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We appreciate it as always. And I mean, at this point, everyone's heard it. If you want more of us, we are very active on the Discord, XboxEra community Discord. You can I think it's just Discord/XboxEra. You'll find it. We have the forums, of course, which I am not as active on, but I really should be. And if you really like what we do, check out our Patreon. Every little bit helps. Usually I'd have a little scroll happening over here, but I can do it, but we went for like a minute, so I'm not going to. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you all. Have a good night.